Everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. The Lakers beat the Warriors in a thrilling opening game to their much anticipated Western Conference semifinals matchup. As we know with the playoffs, one game is just one game, you have to get to four, and it's all about game-to-game adjustments. So there's three key adjustments I anticipate from the Warriors that the Lakers will have to adapt to. One is offensively and two is defensively. So let's go through the offensive one first. That adjustment is gonna be simply Steph being on the ball a lot more. I understand in the first game, with the Warriors coming off that grueling game 7 versus the Kings and Steph having to expend a ton of energy in that game 7. He put up, I believe, 38 shots, of course, scored 50 points, which is the highest ever for a game 7. That takes a lot of energy, even though the fact that he is one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the world. Therefore, in that game 1, then Kerr didn't want to rely on him too much on the ball just because of how much energy that takes. However, with the Warriors losing the game and now being down 1 and needing this game 2 to then go back tied up back to LA, you're going to see a lot more of Steph going directly into the pick and roll and putting a lot more pressure on the Lakers defensively, and also a lot more isolation as well, potentially. And so for the Lakers, they're gonna have to adapt to that, whether it's blitzing him out of that pick and roll or being comfortable with those switches, depending on who it is. That's gonna be a massive change in my opinion. And I think it also puts even more emphasis on Jared Vanderbilt, who did a great job in game 1 of picking up Steph full court and denying him the ball to take him out of his normal rhythm. But I think you're gonna see a greater emphasis from the Warriors and Coach Steve Kerr really telling Steph, hey man, keep the ball and really initiate the offense yourself. Number 2 and 2 and 3 are both defensively, and we got a sneak peek of this at the end of game 1, is that firstly, I think you're gonna see more zone from the Warriors. I still expect it to be interspersed among how they're playing man-to-man, and part of that is due to adjustment number 3, which I'll talk about in a second, but they're gonna force the Lakers to hit shots and not give up as many paint points and as much rim pressure as they did, part of which led to that massive free throw discrepancy. No, it's not a conspiracy. So the Lakers will have to adapt to that, and I think you saw a quick adaptation from the team late in the game on a massive D'Angelo Russell bucket when the game was tied. He flashed middle, made a nice move, a little feint left shoulder, went back to his right to give the Lakers the lead back. So I think the Lakers are going to be more prepared for that with some of those zone busters and automatic triggers. And then thirdly, again, we saw this late in the game, is that they're gonna have more of Draymond Green on Anthony Davis, because the fact is, Looney, although I'll give him credit, he definitely gives it his all out there. He just cannot stay with AD when it comes to his lateral movement and his lateral quickness and change of direction. So I fully anticipate the Warriors going small more often and matching up Draymond and AD. And Draymond is obviously a great defender. He's one of those guys with a low center of gravity who can get up under AD, which AD does not like. And he faced versus the Grizzlies in switches versus guys like Bane who were able to root him out of the post. And then Draymond has great anticipation, foot speed, and also great hands as well. So he can bother AD in multiple ways, and Looney can't, and try to really limit his post-up touches. To counter that, the Lakers can get AD into movement much more often, so he's catching the ball on the move rather than at a standstill in order to take advantage of Draymond rather than having to face a set Draymond Green. We saw it multiple times in game 1 where you had AD in off-ball action, for example, coming off pin downs, so he was catching the ball on the move and then being able to make decisions versus a defender who is now reacting. Furthermore, if the Warriors do go small more often, that also takes out one of their key shot blockers in Looney, so it will be tantamount for the Lakers other guys, whether it's Reeves, whether it's D'Angelo, whether it's LeBron, to really put pressure on the rim and to be able to knife into the paint. And we did see some of that as well from the Lakers in the first game when the Warriors did go small. There will certainly be more adjustments than just those three, but those are the three that really stick out to me right away. And this is really part of the fun of the cat and mouse game of the playoffs, especially when you have two high-level teams and two teams that, even though they haven't played each other since 1991, you have players on both sides who are very, very familiar with each other. So there's a lot of familiarity there, which leads to a lot more nuances in terms of that chess adjustment game.